Wait. What's value? Value is just a vec. Can I split here? Oh, I can split here. Returns an iterator over subslices separated by elements that match. Okay, so we split. We have a predicate. So this is our bytes. Oh, this is a single byte. And I want this to be a split true when the byte is equal to a new line. Now, do I care about collecting this back again? Because I can still just get next and get the other thing. So, okay, let's do that. So we have these are our lines. And if I debug the lines, so let's just do lines.count. How many do we have? We should see we should see 10. No implementation for, oh, a referenced, okay. It's a good idea to learn things, to build project. I learned Rust when making SQL compiler and storage. You make a B tree in Rust hard for you, but B plus primary tree not working well. I mean, yeah, but like then you learn exactly what you need to make that one pass, and then you can go back to what you really want to do. Okay, so this is our problem here. So we can solve this by doing that. Two. We got 2. There's only 2 lines? Oh no, that's not what I want. I want all 10. Now, does this split once? Oh, is the value compressed bytes or decompressed? Is the new line compressed or not? I don't remember. That's a good, well, wait a second. So, okay. I'm able, also, hello, Skimmis. The answer is yes. Unfortunately, it's a combination of compressed and decompressed bytes. The question now is that new line in the decompressed bytes or not? Because I don't remember anymore. But what we can do in here, so let's take a look at this one itself. So if I let's hex dump this file. Oh, and I guess before that, why am I putting this into there? Do I have to? Okay, yeah, that you just show up there. That's fine. So our first one, we want to go until we see. Oh, and if I remember correctly, it does it weird, where. Okay, so we have tree, the length. For this one line, then 1 0. Okay, so that's that. That's a null, I think, right? So TREE space 373 null mode. So 100644 space get attributes null and then the hash okay, and then here's where it starts the next one. Oh, it just goes right up to it? That's... Oh no, it just goes right up to it, doesn't it? Oh, but it's 20 bytes. We know it's 20 bytes. Okay, so there's the null, then the mode, right? Like TREE space 373 null 100644 space dot GIT ATTRIB UTES null, and then it should be 20 bytes. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Wait, 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. It's not 20 bytes, it's 40 bytes, right? Because like AE or something like that. You should probably have more specific wrapper types around evacuate and implement from for those wrapper types that confusion has happened. Yeah. Although like what we have in there that we just get from the pack file is a combined mess of stuff. And this is like trying to extract it out from there, because we just, from the pack file, all we get is just a vector of bytes that include like all this stuff. So that's what we're trying to get out now. If that makes sense. Also, Epic, hello. How are you doing today? Now I do see another null down here. So I saw a null here. There was a null right here. So I wonder if I wait 40 bytes, then we're gonna see a null. Is it null ending instead of new line ending? Nope, not that. I wanted that. 12 lines. Oh, but then wait, it's 12 nulls. 12 nulls. Which might make sense. Because we see a null right here after the tree and size, we see a null. And then we see another null after the file name. And then we see another null after the other one, I think. I think that's how it works. Epic, all is good here. It's interesting to see you poke around the insides of Git like it's section, but less smelly. I don't know. I guess it's only smelly. It's less smelly because like there's just like, you know, it's still being used, still fresh, still warm. Waleed, hello. Oh wait, I already said hello. I'm responding to a simple comment. Okay, my brain, that transfer of what is it called? The context transfer did not work in that moment. First time you watch me, tell me about myself. Let's see. I am a software developer. I do that for a quote day job. But of course, that day job is, well, now it's 14 hours a week. It got upgraded from the 10 hours a week that it previously was. Which is also why I have like little meetings scattered here and there, and then the streams have to be around it. But I also am an educator. I've done education in the past, and I am building courses. This is a project that I did as partnership with CodeCrafters. And I also do, like, I'm creating a course, like, for example, I'm creating a course on Docker right now. And tomorrow, the stream is all about starting to fix some of the things that we found in beta testing, which is going to be fun. And I also have fun with code type things. So on Wednesdays, we're doing fun coding things. We're going to do Shenzhen.io as the sequel, kind of, sort of, to TIS 100. So yeah, that's like the super quick about me. So I bet if I skip the first two, free tell about Docker. Docker is it's a container technology. So containerization, it's not really VM, although when you're first starting to use it, using like VM as sort of like a mental model might be helpful. It basically allows us to run operating systems inside of our operating system. And you can then use that to wrap your code and environments for programming inside of them, and then either deploy it in the container system or just dev in the container system. Either way, both ways are very good. So that's like also the 30-second intro to Docker. And then once you know more about it, you realize, oh, this is not a VM. This is something else. Okay. So I'm thinking that we skip the first two. So if I split, and so let's skip 2. Now, if I count the rest, it's still going to be 12. But I no longer have the header, right? Actually, let's go over it and see. Okay, so I bet, yeah, so if we start in header and I want to parse the header out. So instead of step, let's just implement like a parse on this. So tree parser, header. Ooh, do I want to mute self on this? Or do I want to return a new parser of like what that needs to be? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not also sure what I want to return from this yet. So we'll just do this. Also, what am I parsing? I'm going to parse whatever this is. So if I get the next line, so I guess if I get a line, so we just get the first one. So, okay, you're going to be an option of U8. Okay, so you're going to be an option of bytes, essentially. Perfect. So we'll have our line. We'll call that just the bytes. I could have this as an option in here where I just, okay, just pass this in. So an option, U8. Was it that or was it the other way around? I don't remember anymore. All right, so just to make sure that I don't confuse myself too much, I'm just going to print out the bytes, and it's not too many to begin with. This is just the tree space length end. Okay, so we get you, we do next. Okay, so let's do parser, parse, pass in the line, pass in the line, and that's it. Now, if I do that, we should see not the decompressed or whatever it is bytes do it. Okay, so okay, so this would be TREE space 353 or whatever that was. Okay, that seems right. And then we're missing then. Okay, now we're missing the what is it called? We're missing the thing, the null. The null's missing because they got split out. All right, I think we're good. So I don't know if this needs to be part of an enum anymore. This might just be standalone functions that we have that can then fill out the tree object, or we put the stuff into tree object itself. Yes, what if we do that? What if we parse? Now, okay, in tree object, we're gonna have the mode, object type, file name, checksum. We have nothing about the header, and so all we want to do is we want to skip this. So we're gonna skip 1. Now we get the next line. Suyash, hello. How are you doing today? Can I use Docker for my Rust server and use anywhere? Because at this time, every time I need to run the server on my laptop, localhost, how do I communicate with server across networks? You can run it, but I don't know if that solves the problem that you're looking into, Waleed. When you run Docker, it's still going to have the issue of you need an IP address or a host name associated to the server that Docker is running on, and then you can send communication to that. So if you have like a server somewhere where your code is going to run, then either your code can just run on the server itself, or it can run in Docker on that server. Either way, you need something to forward the message from like the edge of like the networking into that server. Does that make sense? So yeah, you're doing great. How's my time going on? It's going pretty well today. Well, we got a little bit of late start because of a work meeting I had to do, but besides that, it's good. And I guess like that meeting was good too. I can't really say like besides that, I guess. Okay, so what were we looking at? So next up, after this one, we're now going to have the mode space file name null. So this one is going to be the get attributes. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21 characters. Okay, so this would be one, 0, 0. Okay, yeah, so here, 49. Oh yeah, because it's not the hex that's shown in here, it's different over here. So we have 49. So 1, 0, 0, 6, 4, 4, space, dot, GIT, ATTRIBUTES, and then null. Okay. All right. That's good. So yes, you're going after learning some Zod stuff. Nice. I've not really looked into Zod at all, so I have no idea what it really is. But it has a really cool sounding name. Okay, so the first one was pretty simple. We just skipped that. So the second one is we now extract the mode and the file name, which is unfortunate, but we can do that. That's going to be great. And if we think about this is separated out by just a space. Okay, so let's create a new function, which I wonder, we can do this inside of tree object, can't we? So pub function extract parse mode and file name. I know you're not usually supposed to have an and that sort of like indicates that it's a separate thing, but yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, so mute self, and then we're gonna have our bytes, which is gonna be an option. And I'm not gonna return anything because we're just setting what this is. So first off, if we don't have the bytes, there's nothing for us to do. So we just do an early return of nothing. So I guess we'll do a let some just an early return. Once we have that, oh, now you remember that you learned you from the playlist. Oh, thank you. Awesome. I'm glad it's helpful. Okay, so and coffee drinker, hello. How are you doing today? Now that we have these bytes, we want to split them on the space. So, and how do I want to do this? We can do, we're gonna split what? Well, how did I do that? It's not what I want. Okay, so we get our byte, and I want to look at the byte is a space. And so this is now going to be one and then the other. So what are you? You're the split bytes? I don't know if this makes sense. Okay, so we have you. We want to get the first one And then I want to get the next one. Okay, the first one is going to be what? The first one's going to be the mode. So the mode is going to be equal to the split bytes we're going to get next. You need to be mutable. Okay. That becomes an option of U8. If you don't exist, so then let's expect out missing mode from, I guess that's just gonna be missing mode. This is the mode as bytes, right? The mode as bytes. Let's get the file name as bytes. You're doing good, squashing some bugs in your own code. Nice. Okay, so we got those two things. So we got the mode as bytes and we got the file name as bytes. Next up, we want to take the mode and convert it into a U8, which should be fairly simple. We just parse it so that our mode is going to be equal to wait, this is bytes still. We have to turn into a string first, right? From UTF-8, hand it the mode as bytes. All right, so let's return a result. That gives us a stir. And now I want to take this and I want to parse it. Can I parse it directly all in one go? Ooh, I can. Okay, so parse that. Question mark you. You're upset because of this. Okay, you don't know what type it is yet, but we have to use it. So then down here we're gonna say self.mode equals mode. And now you know you're gonna be parsed into that, which is great. Why are you upset? Implicit. Oh, you're upset because we're not returning okay like that, which is fine. Now we're gonna do the same thing here. File name is bytes, so I want to turn this into a string. So and then you're already just a string, which is fine. So we can just two-owned you. And we're good to go there. And now we can say self.filename equals file name. Perfect. You're set now. So if we run this once, so we get this line here, and we hand you in. So this is maybe we already have our parser. We need a tree object. Okay, so I create a tree object. We get the next line, and then I want to tree object, parse mode and file name, hand it the line. I can't do that, so this is gonna be expect error parsing. Okay. Parser parse. Let's not parse this anymore. Are we debugging anywhere? We are not. Let's now debug out the tree object. And then let us panic. So we want to panic. After doing it once. I don't want to do the rest of the stuff and cause anything else to happen. By the way, what's the total progress of the project? We're really close to being done. If I had a full day to work on it today, I would basically say that I'm pretty close to being done. But like maybe the end of maybe we could have been able to get it done by the end of today. But after I can only spend, I have an hour and a half left on this. I'm guessing is probably going to be next week, Monday. Now at least. Wally, do I play video games? I do. I don't have a console besides a Switch right now. So all I have is PC, PC and Switch. Obviously, and mobile phone. Basically, a new project will come. What I'll probably be doing is switch over to working on the LMS and the course until at least like that's sort of tidied up. There's a lot of things to work on it. But once we get close to that, I have like a bunch of projects to choose from, and some of them are more fun than others. I have to sort of like decide which one to go with. We might go with like a more serious project. We might not. I haven't decided yet. Okay, let's see what we get. Hey, look at that. Okay, so we got our mode, we got our get attributes. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So we're able to do this on, I want to repeat this now for everything else. So if we look at our PIG-Z again, we're skipping the header, we're handling the mode and the file name, and now the next thing that we're going to get is the hash, and I'm missing this. We need to get out the header, what type it is. But that's a space. So that should be fairly simple. Okay. So let's, we need to, object type is next. This is a perfect time for a commit. Okay, so we're refactoring the tree parser. Can you tell the disadvantage of using Panic and Rust? I remove it from my server project because every server crashed. So you think of Panic as a forced crash, and sometimes we do want it to crash. We do want our servers or our projects to crash. The way we know we want it to crash is if we're ever in a state that we don't trust anymore. So imagine that you're handling user data and then just something really weird, the database goes wrong. And now it's like did it save? Did I not save? What do I do anymore? I don't even know. I don't know what the state is. You want to crash at that point and then to restart it from scratch, because then you know like everything's sort of reset and back to the way it should be. But if you know how to handle that and like the code is like, okay, no, I know exactly where we are, I know what went wrong and we're okay, you don't want it to crash and you want it to just sort of prepare for another like round to go and to try again. So that's when you don't want to panic, or equivalent. Like an unwrap is the same as a panic, really, if you think about it. Fit, hello, how are you doing today? I'm confused, Yash. Or is that about my things of crashing, like on crashing on purpose? Okay, so I do need the header. So we need a function. I don't want to skip this. This was wrong. We want to parse the header. So we're gonna get that. All right, so the first thing we want to split this on, well, I guess like the first thing that we do is exactly what we do in here. We grab you out, otherwise not good things. And instead of this return okay, you know what we should do? We should change this to a bail and say missing bytes, and then that will tell us like, hey, we're not supposed to be missing these bytes, but okay. We get our bytes, that's great. Fit, you just came to see what's happening with Git or Docker you're building. Quite busy these days? Yeah, quite busy these days, plus I just got a little bit busier because my day job went up to 14 hours a week. So 50% more time spent on it. However, that's only for the next 4 weeks. So it should only be for 1 month, and then we'll be back to this, hopefully. Please explain the difference between Hyper, TCP Listener, and Tokio. You know a little bit, but not much. Hyper and Tokio are both libraries that let you do stuff, right? I'm guessing that TCP library is that also a crate library? So Tokio is there to handle our async code and to make things happen where things can happen. I shouldn't say simultaneously, but appear to be simultaneously, basically inside of like some kind of event loop. And Hyper is there to do the really low bare metal HTTP server type stuff for us, to sort of like to grab HTTP requests coming in, to be able to send them back out again. And then something like Axum is interfacing with Hyper for us, so we don't have to do all the sort of like the bare metal low level stuff with Hyper, but we have a nice interface to deal with it. And TCP Listener is probably something that Hyper is using. That's my guess, but I haven't really looked into it too much. Concurrency, that's what it is. Thank you, Esquimus. Concurrently. How do you keep your concentration and not get tired? Okay, couple different things. The biggest one that I've read about, and I am very privileged right now. I guess I should say I'm privileged right now because I have both the money as like backup, plus my wife works a pretty good job. So I can handle not working full-time job and doing this at the same time. So because of that, I am able to focus each day on a separate project. And when you sleep, you sort of like reset your brain. So the next day I wake up and whatever I'm working on, that's all I work on for the day. Because of that, I don't really get a hit by, oh, I'm like losing my focus on like this thing to another thing. So that's the big one. And the other thing is I have found that I just get distracted a lot when I'm just trying to do this on my own. So ironically, I get done a lot faster, a lot more on stream, even like responding to all of you, than if I were to just go off on my own and try to like, okay, let me just focus on this on my own. Xanax, welcome, and thank you so much for the subscription. How are you doing today? You got my message, right? I know you sent me a message earlier this morning, and I tried to respond to it, but I haven't looked to see if you sent anything back. And coffee, you found a bug in your code after 45 minutes of staring at the screen. Oh, fun. Hey, that's better than like, you know, a day, right? Are those Project Rust related? Is that something you are working on or something you know or have to be yes and no. So let's see. Mondays is this, which is Git in Rust. Tuesdays is, now I was doing the course, so that was not Rust, but we're going back into Rust again because the LMS that I've wrote is in Rust and U. So that's going to be back to Rust again. And then Wednesdays, we're playing a game. And that game is going to be Shenzhen.io, which is a programming in assembly game. So 2 languages throughout the week. But if you think about how like what web development really is, web development is constantly switching between languages in the same project. Like if you have something like a backend that's in Rust and a front end in React, that's 2 languages right there. But then oftentimes we have to dive into HTML and CSS and still a little bit of JavaScript, even if you're running in U or something like that. So we're constantly having to switch between languages. And what I found is that it's not the language itself switching that really hits us hard. It's the project switching. It's the context. It's the context of the entire purpose and like what we're working on. So that to me is still, or maybe it's just because my brain has been broken by like working in web development for so long that like I'm used to the switching between languages now, and it's the project switching that hits me the most. What do I think of the Rust plus Next.js stack? I mean, I think that any of the stacks recently have been really good. So my answer is unfortunately going to be the same regardless, which is like, yeah, that sounds great. I mean, like they all let us do things really fast, really great. So I think I think we're going to look back and decide that this was like the beginning of, or maybe the golden age of web development. Because all the tooling is so much better now. You started rewriting the server for a turn-based multiplayer game yesterday. The whole API is behind an almost global arc mutex right now, which renders the whole async await part basically useless. Found a really nice article that shows a lock-less approach, trying to implement that now. Good luck with that. Hopefully you're able to get it, because that'll be a pretty huge update. Okay, so we have our bytes. We want to parse this out. We have to take our bytes and get the head out of it. Oh, we split this on a space, which is really this. Now, this is like split twice. This is gonna be interesting. The only problem is like this is 2 things. Oh, split space. It's literally the same thing. And then I want the first one. So the first one is the same as this file name, bytes. Except instead of file name, I want to change this to the type. Okay. So we have our type as bytes, missing type and parsing no mode and type. Okay, and then we set self dot. Oh, I forgot self. Does it move self? Wait, no. What's that? How could I forget that? Okay, self, nope, no, don't do that. Self dot, oh, it's the mode. It's the mode. Mode equals. Nope. I was wrong then. Again, it's stop. Select. Up. Select. Search. Type. Mode. Change. Type. Okay. So type is bytes, and then I want to create the mode. No, I want to create the object type. So tree object type. Now tree object type, what can I take this from? What are my choices? Blob and tree. Nothing. Oh, cool. I can implement a from on that. All right, thank you, Walid. Oh, well, let me. There's a little emoji from that. So thank you. Okay. Also, okay, yeah. Now Xanax, I see your reply. Excellent. There was a good conversation going on in over the last like day or two in Discord about the negatives or the potential negatives that run into self-hosting an email server. Like what you know, because it's pretty cool to be able to do that, but it's really not, like, it's really dangerous. It's like really easy to screw that up and get blacklisted and all that stuff, which is not fun. Okay, so let's just implement a from for this. This will be fun. So impl from, now this is gonna be bytes, right? So we could just say, you wait. Oh, wait, I can't do this. Can I? I've tried this before. And I think that it doesn't let me do it because it doesn't know how big it is. Like it needs to know its size at compile time or something like that. Maybe not. Maybe that was something else. Okay, so I want to. I guess I want to convert this into a string. And then we go into there. Otherwise, if I figure out what the bytes are. So can I const in here? I don't know. That doesn't need to be, it's going to be fast. Let's just, it's that stringified. Okay, so this is error unable to extract tree object type string from bytes. Okay, so that gives me that. Then I just want to match on stringified. So if this is a, let's match this to lowercase just in case. Well, that returns a string. Oh, come on. Aster. Okay, so if you're a blob, you're going to return a self blob. If you're a tree, you're going to return a self tree. And if you're anything else, you're going to return an unreachable. Cannot. So what was that? Attempting to extract tree object type. But not one of the types. Okay, so that's a from, and that's the that's the bytes. So now from, we hand it the type is bytes. That gives me a tree object type, and now I can use this as object type in here. Okay, and why did I do mode? Why would I do that? Okay, object type. Okay, so now we should have the object type, and that should be good. So now we debug this. Okay, so we get the first line. These sort of things happen together, right? We get a line, and then we're going to do a tree object. We're going to parse the header, hand it the line, and we're going to expect error parsing header. And then here we're going to get the next line. So if we think about this, I don't need the line there. We're just going to do lines.next. Lines.next. Okay. So we get those two things, then we debug, then we panic. Excellent. We have 12 warnings now. That's cool. We're growing in warnings. Also, I apparently get committed without thinking about it. That's cool. All right, we now see that the object type is tree. We have the mode. We have the file name. The next one is the checksum, which I think is going to be 40. It's going to be 40 or 20 characters. Fit, you're currently stuck with finding a good way of implementing WebSockets in Rust. You thought Tokyo Tungstenite could help, but it's not really having the interface you expect. You look at WebSockets as opening a connection on some port and then listening to certain events that come with some data. Are there any recommendations you can give me? I have not heard of any good libraries for WebSockets. Tungstenite is the best one that I've heard of, but unfortunately, I don't have a better one, unfortunately. I think that there is some work being done there, but yeah, that's my sort of answer is, sorry. I actually wrote an entire wrapper around at one point in time, around a WebSocket thing, just that I would never have to implement it again because it sucked. Fun if you don't need to receive critical mails, payments, government stuff on an account. I have a mail hosted by a third party just because I don't want to have to deal with that mail bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that, Fit. good luck with the project. It's one of those like, let's just commiserate together, or maybe somebody who has time can build a better WebSocket server. All right, and ad is starting in around 15 seconds. And I skipped the last break, so I'm probably going to take this one as a break. Go refill my tea so I can drink a little bit more, and be back in 3 minutes or so. And then we'll be ready for the last hour of work. So that is starting right now. I will be back in a couple minutes.